Thank you for attending today's Chinese GCSE meeting. I will explain about how the exam is taken. So Chinese GCSE consists with five themes. Theme 1, Identity and Culture. Theme 2, Local Area, Holiday and Travel. Theme 3, School. Theme 4, Future Aspirations, Study and Work. And theme 5, International and Global Dimension. So about GCSE assessment, and all these paper 1 to paper 4 is from these five themes. Theme 1, Identity and Culture. So who am I? Relationship. When I was younger, what my friends and family are like, and what makes a good friend. Interest, socializing with friends and family, role model. So questions like 你家有几口人? How your friend, how your family look like, 他们长得怎么样? And prescribe the like prescription of the personality, and your friend's name, and what do you like to do with them, like friends or family, and what are you gonna do next weekend with your friends or family? How many people are there in your family, and so on. And daily life and custom and everyday life, food and drink, shopping, social media, technology. So, like for example, what is the tradition thing where you live, and your daily activity, what is your favorite drink, what's your favorite food, and what do you like to buy, something like shopping, social media, Facebook, Instagram, or like TikTok, and also like use the mobile phone, the advantage and disadvantage. And cultural life, celebration and festivals, reading, music, sport, film, and televisions. So, like for example, there are three major festivals: Spring Festival, which is Chinese New Year, and also you have the Dragon Boat Festival, Moon Festival. What is the tradition of these three festivals? What do Chinese people do? How do you celebrate it? Then you need to know about these. Theme 2, local areas, holiday, travel, holidays, preference, experience, and destinations. So, what type of holiday do you like? Where do you like to go? Um, Experience, you can have good one or bad one. And destinations, like you like to go to seaside, you like to go to mountain, and which country and what cities. Travel and tourist transactions, um, travel and accommodations, asking for help, dealing with problems, directions, eating out, shopping, they're all included. So, when you travel, you need to have the transportation, booking the ticket, buying the ticket, and also booking hotel. And when you have problem or you get lost, then you ask for direction. If you lost something, then you ask for help, like police station. And eating out, so order food, shopping items, souvenir, town, region, and country. So weather, places to see, things to do. So in this area, and in so weather, cold, hot, warm, and rainy, sunny, and so on. And place to see is like tourist attraction and things to do. So what can you do there? Theme three, school. So this is quite important because it doesn't matter foundation or high tier. School tend to be quite heavy in all four papers. So what school is like? School type, school day, subject, rule and pressure, celebrating success. So you can have private school, you can have public school, and also what is your typical school day is like. When do you start? When do you finish? And also what time do you have your lunch break? And subject, like what subject do they offer in school? Math, English, geography, physics, chemistry, and also you have PE, you have music, and language you have Chinese, of course, and also French, German, Spanish, and rules. So, what rules does your school have, and what do you think is reasonable, and which rule you don't like? Pressure. You have test, you have exam, and also you have a lot of homework. That is pressure. And celebrating success, like maybe you school won the football match, and then you have some celebration. School activity, school trip, event, and exchange. So, like sometimes the school have organized some trip to London to visit museum or gallery, and sometimes you have weekend break to Paris. So you can talk about this and event. So sometimes school have their anniversary and exchanges, like for example, you can have student exchange um, to different country. Mm, so that is what you can talk about. Theme four, future aspirations, study and work. Using language beyond the classroom, forming relationship, travel and employment. So forming relationships is like maybe you make friends on internet, and also like how do you communicate? You can use the app or you can write emails to make friends. And when you travel, and what sort of question you need to talk about, like for example, you buying tickets, booking hotel, and also when you ask for direction, that's also to do with travel as well. And employment, so interview for jobs, that is using language beyond the classroom. Ambitions, further study, volunteering, and training. So, like for example, do you want to go to university or not? And what do you want to study? And volunteering. So, what do you want to do for volunteering work? And also training and like what sort of training do you want to have? And do you think that is useful or is it important? And explaining why. And work, jobs, career, professions. So it can be your future job. What do you want to be? And also, you can talk about your parents, your families, what's their job, and what is your ideal job and profession. Theme 5, International and Global Dimension. Bringing the world together, sport event, music event, campaign, and courses. So, like for example, sport event, you can talk about the football, the World Cup, music event, like for example, music festival, campaign, and like you have Oxfam, Red Cross, good causes. What do they do? Like charity work, and how do you participate this? Environmental issues, being green, and access to natural resources. So, how do you protect the environment? And also, do you do recycling? And how do you save water, save electricity? And do you walk to school or using transport instead of driving a car? And what have you done to protect the environment? Like maybe you do the recycling, but before the recycling, you need to divide your rubbish. So recyclable, non-recyclable. So this is the overview of the specifications, and so that is the time, the length of time for paper one, listening. Paper two, you have 10 to 12 minutes, and excluding the 12 minutes preparation time. We will talk about this later in more detail. Paper three is writing, no, sorry, reading, and 1 hour, 5 minutes. And paper four is writing, 1 hour, 25 minutes for higher tier. And these are the four skills they assess, and 25% each. They're equally assessed. So, listening and reading, which is paper one and paper three. So, listening and understanding for higher tier, you have 45 minutes, including 5 minutes reading time. So, read a question. Um, you can have like 5 minutes there, quiet time before the recording start playing. So at the meantime, you can have a quick browse of these questions. That is the skill for answering the listening questions. Um, so read the question first, then when the recording start to play, then you can quicker to make the choice of the correct answers. And then you have the multiple response question and open response. So basically, it's a multiple choice, and then answer the question, and you need to write it in English, and the question will be in English as well. And four question is the same as foundation tier. So these are the listening skills. Identify the overall message key points and detail and opinion, and then deduce meaning from variety of spoken text, and recognize the relationship between past, present, and future, and recognize the response to key information, important theme and idea in the spoken text, which is a recording, and be able to answer question, extract information, evaluate, evaluate and draw conclusions. Okay, so for reading, 1 hour, 5 minutes. So this is paper 3, by the way. A variety of multiple response, which is a multiple choice, and short answer, open response questions, and all instruction and question in English. Okay, so and also you need to answer in English as well. And the question paper, you have the simplified and traditional versions. So choose what apply to you. And one short passage to be translated. So reading skill. So read in Chinese. So it's Chinese in, and then you translate into English. And two questions based on literacy text. And same again, four questions, same as foundation tier. Okay, so the skill for reading. Identify the overall message of text and the key point details. Pretty much same as the listening. So variety of written text, and then the three tenses, past, present, and future. And also, you need to understand the text and then organize and with the relevant detail, and recognize response to key information. So basically, when you read, you just need to be able to extract the important information to your question, so you can answer to the question appropriately. So these are the three skills: prediction, skimming, and scanning. For writing, which is paper 4, paper 4 is the last one. For higher tier, 1 hour, 25 minutes. And so that consists with one translation and question. So you have two open response questions. So basically, the translation it for your writing skill. So read in English. The question will be in English, and then you write in Chinese. And to open response, two questions you have A and B to choose from. And the question one, informal, 80 characters to 110 characters. And for question two, formal writing. So for Cantonese speaker, you need to pay attention to this. Um, in Cantonese, spoken and written language is quite different. So you need to make sure you use the written language instead of the spoken. And for question two is 110 to 130 characters. Okay. So, like I said earlier, a choice of questions. Okay. So, question one, you have A and B to choose from. Just choose one to answer. Question two, also A and B. Choose one. And so translation into Chinese. Okay. And you can choose to write in simplified or traditional characters. Okay. Uh, so you need to pay attention for this accurate use of a variety of vocabulary and grammar structures. Reference to past, present, and future. And for the past, action verb, you add le, and the phrases relate to past, like yesterday, this morning, last month, last week, last year, present, and then future. Future, then it will be like 会，想要，打算计划。These are the phrases for future. And use variety of structure and vocabularies. Make sure you don't keep repeating the same words or phrases. And you need to use some structures which make it more interesting. Instead of writing short sentences, make it longer by using structures. And make independent, creative, and more complex use of the language. And justify your individual thought and point of view. Like 我认为,我觉得. So you need to be able to express your point of view. So these are the structure of the patterns. 因为所以 because so. And then 要是的话 if then 除了以外 apart from besides and 虽然但是 although but 不但而且 not only but also 是的 that is used for emphasize like 我是坐公车来的 so if you want to emphasize something you put it in between 是 and 的 and yo at both end and 越 the more so remember to use these patterns appropriately to join up short sentence to make it long. You can apply these in your writing assessment, But also you can use it in the speaking assessment as well. So you need to familiarize with this. So this is most important part of this meeting, speaking. So speaking, the timing is like you have 12 minutes of preparation time. That is before you enter the room to meet your examiner. So this 12 minutes, you can prepare task one and task two. So when you go to another room, and there will be a invigilator that give you the two cards. One, task one is role play. Task two is picture-based questions. So you can prepare this, but do not write a lot on your paper because this paper need to go back to the examiner officer to keep. Okay, you can write the some point you want to say, but not a lot. Okay, and task one role play 2 to 2.5 minutes. Task two picture based task 3 to 3.5 minutes. And task three have two parts, part one and part two. Part one, which you can choose, so you can prepare before the exam. Speaking assessment is the first one of the four paper. It happened between mid of April to mid of May. So that will happen between then, and you need to submit your chosen theme by the end of um, February. And so the examiner know what you're gonna talk about, and examiner can prepare a question to form a conversation with you. So part one is your chosen thing. Part two is decided by the exam board. I'll explain this in a bit. So part one and part two, total time is 5 to 6 minutes. And the beginning of this conversation, you have the 1 minute of presentation, and you want to talk about your part one chosen theme, and just introduce roughly, like 你好，我叫 blah blah blah，我今天要讲的是哒哒哒哒哒，and just 1 minute, no more than 1 minute. So the speaking skill very similar to the writing skill. If you want to read, it's basically the same. So I'm not going to repeat again. But make sure past, present, and future, and express your opinion, and also use more complex of the language, which is those pattern I just show you. So this is the adaptation table. So like how does it decide? So it's decided by um, your chosen theme and your candidate order. So let's have a look. Like for example, if you choose theme 4 and your candidate 1, then that is your order. So you start with task 1. So when you enter the room, the invigilator will give you this card and that card. Oh, by the way, this is a foundation, but it works the same way. And then followed by task three, when you enter the room, um, the examiner will talk to you, and then followed by task three, same four, and then the allocation table. It can be same one or same five, or just one same, and then the examiner can pull some related information um, in from like other theme as well. So it doesn't matter which way you turn to, then you need to prepare all four themes. Um, some of the candidate rather choose the like more difficult theme, like theme four and theme five. So they left with something might be easier. So really it's up to your own choice. So let's talk about the assessment of role play. Role play, total, you have 10 mark. And for each question, part of the question, basically, role play, you just do translation. So there are five parts in your role play, and that's how they mark individual sentence. And so that is, if you want to get 7 to 8, that is what you need to achieve. So make sure it's clearly communicated, appropriate within the context of the role play. Ambiguous pronunciation and support clear communication. So if you like pronounce the tone slightly off, they are not going to take the mark away from you. But however, you won't be getting the maximum score. But for the native, that is no problem. Task one role play. Okay, let's have a read. That's what you gonna get as a candidate. So on the top, there's an instruction to the candidate, and then there's a situation. You're in a department store in China. You want to buy birthday present, and you are talking to one of the sales assistants. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when you see the exclamation mark here, that means you don't know what question the examiner gonna ask you. You cannot prepare beforehand. So this part you need to listen to the examiner attentively. Okay? If you don't understand the first time, you're allowed to ask the examiner to repeat, but only two more times, no more. Okay? And then that is the examiner's card. So like this one, 你好，我可以帮你什么忙? And then you say what you want to buy a birthday present. Okay, so basically you just do the translation of this sentence. Okay, and 去年你买了什么样的礼物? So because you cannot prepare, So you need to listen and understand, okay? And then you can um, prepare what you want to say. Like, I want to buy a book, okay? Then 你想花多少钱? So because you know the question is about how much money you want to spend, okay? And then 好的 then when you see this question mark, that means you need to ask questions. So you need to speak first. And so you need to ask how you can pay. So there can be cash, there can be like pay by card, or you can do bank transfer, or sometimes you can pay by uh, Alipay if you're in China, and or sometimes you can use the phone to scan on the machine. So you need to understand that as well. And then the question, so you need to ask where you can buy a birthday card. Okay, so that is task one, role play. And after 17th of January, I'm gonna start running Friday lunchtime club for the GCSE, so we can do more practice like this. Okay, so task two, picture base. So they, how do they market? So communication content, 16 marks, and language knowledge and accuracy, 8. Okay, so that's how you can make sure you get the full mark. Let's look at some example. So task two, picture base. You get a card with picture like this. Okay, and so this is your card. So look at the picture and prepare answer to the following. Okay, description of the photograph, and then what do you think about going to the park? What kind of exercise you did last week, and what your plan is for the summer holiday, and exclamation marks means you don't know what's gonna be asked. So, description of the photograph, that is a good chance to demonstrate your vocabulary skill. And so, like for example, in this picture, there are 7 people, and they're riding their bicycle, and what clothes they're wearing, and a hat, and what color of shorts, and what color of shoes. So shoes, if you don't know any other vocabulary for shoes, then you just say 鞋子. And if you know, you can say sport shoes, right? And so when you're describing, okay, that is PALN rules and W. So P means people, that is who. And A, action. What are they doing? Okay, that is what. L means location. Location is where. And M is mood. What do they look like? They look happy or they look upset. So that is how. And W, weather. Okay. And so if the teacher say this, 我觉得去公园很好。你认为呢？ So what do you think about going to the park? What can you do in the park? Do you think it's good or not good? And why? Okay? And if you don't say enough, then the examiner will ask you, 还有呢? Okay? And then, 上个星期你做了什么运动? Remember? The action verb add the indicate that the past tense. And also, 上个星期, that means past tense. So when you answer this question, remember, use the past tense. Okay? And 这个暑假你有什么计划? What do you have in mind? What is your plan for this summer holiday? This summer holiday, it hasn't arrived yet. So, future tense. So, what is your plan? What activity you can do? So, activity and or something like travel. Okay. And if you don't say enough things, then the examiner will ask you, 还有呢? And 5, 你跟朋友一起的时候喜欢做什么? So what do you like to do when you are with your friends? Okay? So you like to do things you like to do, that is hobby, sport, travel as well. So what do you like to do and why? And sometimes you can, if you don't say enough, then examiner will ask you, anything else? 还有呢? Okay. Now, part 3, conversation. So conversation broken down to 2 parts. Part 1, which is your chosen topic from the 5 things. And this you can prepare before the assessment. And you can do the presentation briefly up to 1 minute, no more than 1 minute. Okay? 你好，我叫 blah blah blah， 今天我要说的是的的的的的。Okay? And then the teacher examiner will continue the conversation on your chosen topic. And then part 2 is your second thing, will be allocated by Pearson. Okay? And the teacher examiner can mix the chosen from the 2 themes, because on the table there are 2 themes for the examiner to choose from. But in the conversation, the teacher examiner can slide in other theme as well. Okay? So that's the task 3 conversation part. So for the conversation, you have 12 marks for communication and content. So remember vocabulary, okay, and also grammar and the patterns and interaction spontaneously. And so you need to listen to the examiner and answer examiner's question appropriately, and linguistic knowledge and accuracy. So make sure you use past, present, and future. Okay, use it correctly. And if you use number, make sure you use the measure word, appropriate measure word. Um, if you don't know which one to use, to be safe, you just say g, okay? And if it's for animal, then use zhi, and that's 12 mark. So totally 36 marks. Okay, so these are important thing to make sure you get the maximum score. You can have a rate. And for interaction and spontaneity, that is 12 mark. And that's how you can get a higher score. And for linguistic knowledge and accuracy, that is how you get the top marks. So basically, GCSE, for speaking and also writing, you allowed to make minor mistake as long as you don't confuse um, people, the native speaker. Then, of course, you won't get the maximum score, but they don't use this to against you to take any mark off. So thank you for attending this meeting. And if you have any more question, you can contact me via email. And this is my email. And like I say, 17th of January 2024, I will start my Friday lunchtime club for GCSE. Okay, and register for exam deadline is 31st of January. And also that your chosen thing for speaking assessment, um, so, please provide it by 28th of February 2024. And thank you very much for being here.